Have you ever seen a company that looks good? They say all the right things and they market themselves well, but something just doesn't add up. Well, today I want to talk to you about GiveSendGo. This is a donation platform that hosts fundraisers for individuals and organizations in need. And this sounds good, but just because they're doing good doesn't mean that they're perfect. Let me give you guys some backstory.
Did you call him the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. So
last month, in April 2025, a woman named Shiloh Hendrix went viral on video for calling a 5-year-old autistic child racial slurs. And because of this, she's faced a lot of backlash, and she went and started a fundraiser on GiveSendGo for her relocation. Despite the nature of this incident, she's been able to raise over $750,000. And what's disturbing is that even though she did what she did, she's not being held accountable. She's being rewarded. What she did was wrong, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. But I want to talk about the company that is allowing this.
We've allowed things that we completely disagree with.
Do you allow people
platform,
to do pro-abortion? Do you allow pro-abortion fundraising?
Actually, there's two caveats to what GiveSendGo has carved out, and one of them is it's broken into two pieces, but it's the protection of children. So we say we're going to protect children because they don't have a voice. So we're not going to allow fundraising for abortions on GiveSendGo, and we're not going to allow fundraising for the transition of children.
Okay, but what about a 5-year-old child what about a 5-year-old black child being called the N-word?
What about that?
Where does the protection for that child come in?
Well, that's their parents' responsibility. That's like if my child, and I have several children, if my child was called something bad, I would take my child aside and I would tell them.
But you just said that one of the caveats.
Hang on,
you just said one of the caveats for GiveSendGo is the protection of children. You talked about the transitioning process. You talked about abortion, which is obviously your Christian perspective on that. And I'm simply saying, why doesn't it include children being racially abused? Why is that suddenly the parents' responsibility, not yours as a platform?
No, because
where you are literally
enriched.
You are going to make well, look, let me just spell it out to you. The way things are going, you're going to make a millionaire out of a woman who racially abused a child. And if your caveats are for
that's
protection,
incorrect.
Well, hang on. Well, you are.
No, I'm not. Because one, we're a platform. We don't make donations to these campaigns. These are individuals that are making donations.
This person will become a millionaire because of your platform.
No, it's not because of our platform. They could send checks, and they could send money a million different ways to individuals.
But they're using your platform.
Those avenues.
And you've already said to me you carve out things because you want to protect children. I'm just curious, why is racially abusing a child not one of your carve-outs?
This is a fake Christian company. This is one of those companies that will claim that they're Christian. They'll claim that they stand on Christian ethics and morals, but then they'll go and support a situation like this. They're saying that they support the rights of children, but when it comes to a black child, that's now the responsibility of the parents alone.
And I'm curious, for you as a company, you take, I believe, tips and donations from each of the donations that come in. Is that how the system works?
The system works on voluntary donations.
Okay.
So the only thing that we receive
just
as
out of
revenue
interest, of the $600,000 plus that have now been raised for her, how much have you guys made, GiveSendGo, from that money? Presumably you know, right?
I actually don't know. I haven't kept track of what the donations to that campaign in particular to GiveSendGo are.
But do you feel comfortable? You feel comfortable making money out of that?
What I feel comfortable doing is last week flying out to Detroit, Michigan, and stepping into somebody's brokenness who had a campaign on GiveSendGo because their car was stolen and another car was in an accident, and they found out their 3-year-old had cancer.
Well, that's
and
a different story.
It's
a different story completely.
And it's a completely different story, but it's a reality of what we use the funds from GiveSendGo for.
The bottom line is you're making, I don't know, tens of thousands, maybe more, out of a particular part of your site that has been set up by a racist who was proudly racist on camera repeatedly. And you say you want to protect children, but the reason that she is so infamous is she originally, in that exchange, racially abused a child. And you might laugh and smirk and smile,
none of
but
us,
I don't find any of that funny.
You keep jumping. Yeah, I don't think it's funny either. You've put me in a position to try to defend Shiloh, which I have no defense for Shiloh. I don't defend calling a child something like that. What is very evident is that, one, we don't have video of her doing any of those things outside of the post video. So
where she literally uses the N-word repeatedly, and she doesn't deny using it against the child. In fact, she makes it clear she did do it because he was behaving like one, she said. So I don't know why you're being so mealy-mouthed about it.
So,
the bottom line is she's obviously a nasty racist. She's proud of being a racist. She admitted being a racist, and we heard her being a racist. There is no doubt about what happened. What you're trying to do is cast a little bit of doubt, if you don't mind me saying, because it helps your corporate position, which is you're making a ton of money out of a racist who is going to be a millionaire out of being a racist because of your platform.
If you think allowing this campaign helps our corporate position,
it all makes sense now. You can see why these people like to hide behind a mask. This is their motive. Money is their god. You see how Piers Morgan asked the owner of GiveSendGo questions, and all he can do is just deflect and change the topic? He can't even answer the questions directly. It's people and companies like this that give Christianity a bad rep. People are always going to look at those that are representing the faith before they read their Bible, go to church, or try and build a relationship with God. It's the wolves in sheep's clothing that give Christianity so much backlash. It's when things happen like this causes people to be so aggressive and defensive towards Christianity because they're seeing things like this. Does Shiloh Hendrix deserve to be doxxed or threatened because of what she did? No, that's wrong. But she doesn't deserve to be rewarded or made out to be the victim like she has stated in her bio. As a Christian, you gotta watch out for organizations like this. It's very easy to say that you love God, but you have to watch what people are doing nowadays. You can't just listen or follow someone blindly because you could end up supporting something like this example.